So Battlefield 5 has recently come up for discussion, and I wanted to give my input on the whole situation. Just to put it out there, this is my opinion, and many people could think differently about the game, but I wanted to talk about this whole situation. So a few days ago, EA gave us some information on the next up-and-coming Battlefield 5 update, and sadly, this one is going to be the last. On EA's website, they wrote, "As you are aware, the current Battlefield 5 chapter, Into the Jungle, wraps up on April 29th. As we look to the future, we will release one more standalone update this summer that brings with it some new content, weapons, and game tweaks. We are targeting June for this update. We're still tackling the challenges from working from home, and we'll let you know how things progress for us over the next month." I'm a really big Battlefield fan, and to be honest, it's tough to see a game with so much potential ending in a way. I was really hoping we would get famous battles from World War II, or at least another front, and that still could possibly happen. People have been speculating for a while on what the next Battlefield 5 update would be, and at this point, we still don't know. On EA's website, they revealed an image of one of the maps coming in the next update. As you can see, it looks more like a desert map with rocky terrain and not a lot of vegetation. But to be honest, it doesn't look too much like another front. But this update can possibly go in various directions. From looking at this map, which is Libya, it's clearly set in Africa, so we could possibly be getting more maps set in Africa. But looking back to April 23rd, the Battlefield 5 team tweeted, "There will be no new chapter, but there will be a standalone update this summer with new content, weapons, and game tweaks." So from this tweet, we basically know that we are not getting a new chapter or a story. This is even more upsetting because, like I said before, there is so much potential for this game that the creators are just ignoring, and honestly, it's a shame. They could have added the Eastern Front with the Russians, or they could have added the Allies in Europe. Now, since we won't actually be getting a Chapter 7, the creators will be adding maps, weapons, and game tweaks, so this could very well mean that we can be getting more European maps. At this point, in my opinion, looking at the last update and the time frame they had to make each map, I don't see many maps coming with this update. I think we may possibly get a few maps, maybe around 3 or 4, and then I think the rest of the update will generally be weapons and bug fixes. Again, looking back on Chapter 6, we saw that over time in the chapter, maps were released every few weeks. Now looking at their time frame for releasing maps, releasing one update with content is not looking like it will come with many maps, but that's just my opinion. Looking back to Twitter, the Battlefield 5 team tweeted, "We're continuing with new weekly missions and new rewards, and our update this summer will deliver new content to support that. We otherwise have no further content planned beyond our updates to community games and ensuring healthy game performance." This makes me think that we're not going to see many maps. Even though every Battlefield fan is hoping that we're going to see lots of great maps, I just don't see it happening. I'm going to try to be optimistic and hope that we're actually going to get one great send-off for the game, with great maps and content, but we'll just have to see where it all goes. Even then, it doesn't mean the game is finished forever. We'll still be getting weekly missions and rewards to help encourage people to play the game, and with the new maps that are being added to the game, I don't see people giving up on the game yet. I think with the new update coming, it'll get mixed feedback from the Battlefield 5 community. It could very well come as a great end to the game and give people a new perspective on the game, or it could also come as a bad send-off that leaves players feeling unheard. It's however DICE and EA determine it to be, so at this point, all we can do is wait and hope. Either way, we can still look at the positives of this news by looking at the things they say they're still going to be working on. EA revealed some of the upcoming parts of the update for Battlefield 5, and it still does look promising. So with this new update, we know for certain that we are getting a new map or maps because they revealed the map Libya, which means more maps are likely. They also talked about how they are continuing weekly rewards and giving out Battlefield currency as rewards. Because of this, content that players should have missed in the past can still be obtained, which I think is great. It gives players more of a chance to collect items and still gives players a drive to get on the game and unlock more. So just because Tides of War will be gone doesn't mean unlocking items as you go will be gone. With the new update, it's revealed that Friday night Battlefield servers as well as Throwback Thursdays will be a part. Looking at the information that was revealed by the developers, it says, "We're also planning various weekly initiatives such as the reintroduction of Friday night Battlefield servers where the community can play Battlefield 5 in a friendly atmosphere. Throwback Thursdays where we'll look to bring you together across all of our Battlefield titles are in the works too." I think that by including these events as well as the developers working on community games updates, it'll create more of a unified fanbase and help bring players together. It can easily make more room for working together and having fun in the game. Lastly, the developers included a statement on AntiCheat, which says, "Our work against cheating in Battlefield 5 will continue too. The members of our AntiCheat team are working daily towards making the Battlefield experience as free of foul play as possible. Discussing technical detail into our methods may unfortunately make cheating worse, but we want you to know that we're constantly fighting the battle." Now this generally isn't a console issue, an issue mainly for PC players, but I think that by focusing on anti-cheat, it can really help players furthermore and can go on to create a better experience for everyone. Overall, though, I think that this update is going to get mixed feelings from the Battlefield 5 community. I think many people didn't expect such a huge announcement with the end of Chapter 6, and I think a lot of people were disappointed. Many people were excited for Chapter 7 and what was to come, but by looking at the positives in this situation, I think that by presenting this last update, it creates an update that will be good and bad for Battlefield. Many people were excited for Chapter 7 and what was to come, but by looking at the positives in this situation, I think that by presenting this last update, it creates an update that will be good and bad for Battlefield 5 as a franchise. It leaves players feeling disappointed and unenthusiastic about playing Battlefield 5, but by leaving us with an update like this, it allows for further focus on the next Battlefield game in the franchise for the developers. I think it creates a sense of independence for the Battlefield 5 players and allows them to go towards their own goals and allows them to unlock what they want without following a week-long series of challenges. I think there's good and bad with this update, but eventually it'll create a sense of anticipation for the next upcoming Battlefield game. Again, this is my opinion on the matter and what I think is going to happen. Comment your opinions down below. If you like my content and would like to see more news on gaming as well as news in general, consider subscribing.